Hey guys, I am IzDaisho and I'm here bringing you some magic, and today I'm going to be drafting. And I have a very interesting first pack. There is Nylea, God of the Hunt, not a very good limited card. Leaf Crown Dryad, a very good limited card. And then a lot of things sort of in the middle. I mean, Perforos's Emissary is fine. What I am going to do is go ahead and check what Nylea is running these days. Probably about a ticket, so not really anything to consider. 2.5. Alright, you know what? It's probably enough that I want to just be taking it for the value. It's not like there's anything in this pack that's really going to signal me into one way or another. Leaf Crown Dryad is probably the best card, but take a Nylea, not really expecting to go green. Like, it's not a terrible card. Sorry about the Facebook message. I'm just going to get rid of that. But yeah, Nylea, not very good. Jeez. It's not like amazing, but it's not unplayable either. I think Caryatid is also worth a couple of bucks. Caryatid. So I should say Sylvan Caryatid. Oh, it's only one. It's a very good card though. It's not much worse than anything here. I mean, there's a Disciple and a Lash of the Whip, which are both pretty good black cards. Possibly first picks, not necessarily first picks. There's a Rising Chimera if I want to stay in Nylea colors, but I'm gonna just take this Sylvan Caryatid. And then there's like a Temple. Like, am I drafting, or am I just taking of Deceit, or am I just taking value cards today? Temple of Deceit looks like he's only going for one. All right, so I don't need to take that. Time to Feed, Divine Verdict, Voyage's End. I'll take the Voyage's End. Probably the best card in the pack. No, definitely the best card in the pack by a lot. I mean, Triton Fortune, Interpress, and Chimera. Blue might be open. What is happening right now? Temple of Mystery, I think, is the cheapest one, though. I'm going to take this Nessian Cursor. Blue-green land wouldn't be terrible for a blue-green deck, but we're not really sure. Nessian Cursor, though, was probably the best card in the pack. Don't remember exactly what was in it. I probably should have paid more attention. But it seemed like the best card, and I think I'm in green. I mean, with Sylvan Caryatid and Nessian Cursor, it's not like Nylea is unplayable just because I don't think it's an amazing card. Okay, so there's an Acro and a Hoplite and a Sentry of the Underworld. But there's also a Time to Feed. No real blue cards, but then again, I mean, there are gold cards that are playable, and then there's like a playable in all of the other colors. So Boon of Erebos, Time to Feed, Travel, but like none of them are signals or anything. I guess, I mean, there's a signal that green's open if you want that, and if I can build a mono green deck, then I'll be happy to play Nylea. So yeah, just keep taking Time to Feeds. I mean, it's not the best card in the set, but you want a couple at least in your any sort of heroic deck, and just picking up 2 Time to Feeds means that like any Centaur Battle Masters or Stone Charter Warriors that I can find are online and are pretty good. But I mean, with Nylea, you definitely want to pick up Nylea's Disciples and Karametra's Acolytes and just get that combo train going if you can. Alright, so obviously no real green cards. There's a Shredding Winds. There's a red card in Borderland Minotaur, so I'll pick it up. Anvil Wrought Raptor is also somewhat playable. Scourge Marks, Traveler's Amulet, but may as well take reasonably playable card. So we saw that one Voyage's End, and there was a couple other blue cards in that pack, so maybe blue's not very open. Warrior's Lesson, Titan's Strength, Volpine Goliath. Let's take the Warrior's Lesson. It's less replaceable than the Volpine Goliath. I always end up saying that, and then I never end up with enough Volpine Goliaths in my deck. I'm not sure if I'm in red, so I don't want to take the Titan's Strength over the Warrior's Lesson. Okay, well, I mean, Rage of Perforos is a magic card. It's a reasonable one to play. Alright, Thassa's Bounty or Prowler's Helm. I'll just take the Prowler's Helm, doesn't really matter. Yeah, it looks like red's pretty open, so I might be jumping into that. I don't really have many creatures, which is a little bit awkward. Out of the first pack. I would definitely like to see a bunch more over the next couple ones. So like all I have right now is, for attacking wise, is a Nessian Cursor, two-headed Cerberus, and a Borderland Minotaur. Kind of wish I had the Titan Strength instead of the Warrior's Lesson. But I mean, Warrior's Lesson is still pretty good on two-headed Cerberus. But as another side point, something like Titan Strengthing the Titan Strength two-headed Cerberus deck is like a real deck. It doesn't matter what colors you're in or anything. It's just a thing that you can do at any point in Magic and just be very, very happy. Because you can usually pick up some pump spells between Savage Surges and Titan Strengths or whatever color you're in if you're pairing it with white or, I guess, not really blue, but yeah. Just take this Cavalry Pegasus. Messenger Speed is completely unplayable. Wild Celebrants is not my favorite card, but at the same time, it does do things, and it's also a 5/3, so it's reasonable. I mean, fortunately, I have Nylea, not Perforos, because it looks like my Devotion to Red is pretty sweet, whereas my Devotion to Green is only 2 cards. Alright, so some reasonable Magic cards in this pack. Looking at Coordinated Assault, I'm pretty much off the Voyage's End train here after seeing 1 blue card and then almost nothing. And Coordinated Assault's the best card in the pack. I think it's better than Spear Point Oread. This is my least favorite of the common bestows. Baleful, Nihilee's Disciple and Nessian Cursor are good too. Maybe I should be taking one of these 2 guys right here. Coordinated Assault's a really good card. At the same time, I only have a few creatures that even attack at this point, but I'm early in pack 1. I'll be able to find some things. Alright, so this is actually a pretty tough choice between a Stone Chartered Warrior and a Magma Jet. I already have a few things that work with Stone Chartered Warrior, and Magma Jet's just not as good as I thought it would be, or really anyone thought it would be for that matter. If I leave the Magma Jet in, I'll probably table the Borderland Minotaur. I'm going to take the Stone Chartered Warrior. I really want these for my deck. They're not easily replaceable or easy to pick up. I mean, just like good things that work really well with all my targeting stuff. It's just not usually that easy to find those kind of things. So I'm pretty happy about that. Red cards non-existent. Green cards not really here either. Another Voyage's End. If I had taken that green card, then I could definitely consider going back into blue. That being said, it's pretty easy to splash usually, and I'm gonna go ahead and show that Voyage's End again, just in case. I'm gonna take this Agent of Horizons. It's a reasonable Magic card on its own in a 3/2 for 3, and if I can splash, the other thing that's very good, Happiness. Stone Shard Warrior is good. If I don't end up with a lot more targeting things, though, then I'll much rather have the Nessian Asp. Portent of Betrayal is fine, but those you can usually find later. So, I mean, I'm obviously not happy about passing this Griptide, but I do get an Ill-Tempered Cyclops out of the deal, so pretty good. There's a Portent of Betrayal, but, Steam Augury is actually not that good. When I look at it, I'm like, well, I might be splashing blue, and there's a blue-red rare, so maybe I want to play it. But at the same time, Portent of Betrayal is definitely better in this kind of deck. Steam Augury just doesn't do what you want. It ends up being like an inspiration, and I mean, while this deck would be fine having a draw spell, it doesn't need one. So very easy Titan Strength. This is not the Borderland Minotaur pack that I thought would table. I'll take the Borderland Minotaur anyway. I don't know how many 4-drops I want to be playing. I guess I'm like first picking Voyaging Satyrs at this point, so I can go from 2 to 4. So we ended up with a lot of cards. Probably not going to need to play that. Pretty happy playing the Cerberus with pump spells. Need some more Titan Strengths, I guess, and maybe some Savage Surges. At this point, I'm probably not going to splash for the Voyage's End, and, well, I mean, I'll have the Sylvan Caryatid in there anyway for the Agent of Horizons, and hopefully I'll pick up a Nylea's Presence. I like the card to begin with. To be honest, if this is my final deck, I'm not playing Nylea. Well, actually, I think I am. I mean, with 2 Borderland Minotaurs and a Nessian Asp, Ill-Tempered already has Trample, but giving things Trample is basically nearly a card, and then the fact that it also has this activated ability, which, I mean, you just have Threat of Activation, so if you attack in with a bunch of creatures, then they have to block as if you could pump any of those creatures, and then you can play your spell second main phase, so that's usually pretty good. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to make it into a creature, but maybe I shouldn't have taken the Coordinated Assault, I don't know. Definitely want to get focused down on the lower end of the curve here. There's a lot that I could be doing that's better. I mean, I don't have any Leaf Crown Dryads. Yeah, this deck definitely would rather have a Leaf Crown Dryad than a Nylea. I don't have any Sedge Scorpions. So there's not really much in green-red that I want specifically. No cards in this pack. I guess I'll take the Vanquish the Foul, because a lot of my things are pretty foul. So yeah, I was right. I did table the Borderland Minotaur. Alternatively, I can go for a Spark Jolt, but it doesn't look like something that this deck wants to be doing. So, 3rd Borderland Minotaur it is. And now the only problem is with all of this double red, I'm like, man, if I had some Devotion to Red cards, that'd be sweet. And the only one is another 4-drop, is Fanatic Amogus. I think that's the only one other than Perforos, which is also a 4-drop. So, yeah, kind of shit out of luck there. But either way, this deck is looking fine so far. Not great. Pretty bad. Hopefully the next pack really helps me out, because I need a lot of pieces to put this little puzzle together. Usually, if a deck's not great in terms of power level, then you can kind of get back there. Wow. A couple of these kind of cards tabling. So I could either, yeah, I'll just take the Spark Jolt. Like, it's a reasonable one. No, Born in Betrayal tabled, so I could have had the Steam Augury. Oh well. Usually if you have like a decent enough curve and like creatures, like reasonable creatures like Agent of Horizons, and then like kind of tricky things like Portent of Betrayal, then you can get a nice deck together and often win a draft that way. But I mean, with something like this where your curve sucks, then you just have, there's so much possibility for your opponent to like just draw really well. All right, this is pretty good. Bow of Nylea. It's obviously the pick. I could very well table this Dragon Mantle or the Agent of Horizons and be happy about that, but I mean, like with the bow, I kind of do want to play the Nylea. But at this point, we're really hoping to pick up a Voyaging Satyr. Even 2 would be fine, just because we need to get our 4-drops on the table as soon as possible. I already have 1 Sylvan Caryatid, which is nice, but I need more effects like that. Just to stabilize, so either that or some like decent 2-drops. I wouldn't mind those silly things, the Satyr Hedonists, the ones that you can sacrifice. Yeah, that's the 2-1 that you can sacrifice. I just need something to do early on in the game. Maybe replace. I mean, probably I'm replacing one of these Portent of Betrayals. All right, so here's a Leaf Crown Dryad. Destructive Reveille is not a bad one. 100-handed one's obviously insane, but not for me. Hopefully I'll table this thing. I don't really know if I really don't think I will, but I'm very happy to pick up a Leaf Crown Dryad. It's probably just going to be a 2/2 reach for 2, but I mean, if I top deck a late game, then I can toss it on something and be very happy about that. Hey, there's another Borderland Minotaur in this pack. Oh god. I'm just going to take this Guardians of Meletus. I don't really need another Warrior's Lesson. I'm not going to take any of these cards. Actually, let's check if Soldier of the Pantheon's going for any tickets. It might be going for 1 ticket. If it's going for 1, I'll take it. 0.4. Probably get a little bit more than that. Yeah, this guy is selling for 1. I don't know. I'll just take the Soldier, whatever. Okay. This is a pack of magical cards. Curse of the Swine is obviously insane. Order of Nylea is probably not that great in this deck. I don't have too many low drops. So we're just going to stack up more higher drops and take a Centaur Battlemaster. Alright, so now I did get 2 of these cards. I was asking for either of them. I don't think that we're doing the whole splash. So I think we're going to take this Satyr Hedonist just to get a low drop creature. Allia's Presence. Allia's Presence is good because it lets me draw, so I can actually draw lands. And it becomes, well, I don't really need to vote. Like, I don't think that I'm planning on making that a creature. Yeah, this thing is just, I think it's the pick. It's reasonable enough in enough situations. So do we want to take another 4-drop that's probably a little bit of an upgrade over some of mine? Or do I want to just take a random 2/1 that's not very good in my deck? Yeah, alright, another 4-drop it is. I'm obviously not playing all of these. I'm probably playing... Maybe I'm not even playing Nylea. Burnished Heart. Maybe that's what I want to be doing. Maybe I just want to be Savage Surging. Now let's see. What kind of non-creatures am I going to play? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe? 7? Burnished Heart is okay. But, like, yeah, I don't really want to be getting to 7. I want to be getting to, like, 8. Or I don't really want to be getting to 6. I want to be getting to 8. I don't know. Just take the Savage Surge. Dare I take another 4-drop? This is bad. I could take the Horizon Chimera in case I want to splash it. I didn't end up taking the Nylea's Presence, so I probably won't be able to splash it. Could take a second Spark Jolt, but I don't even know if I'm main decking the first Spark Jolt. Nylea's Disciple. Alright, well, we got this thing back. I know it wasn't the one that I was talking about earlier, but still fine. Hunt the Hunter. Don't need a second Prowler's Helm, but none of these cards are worth full. That's not a thing. Alright, so this deck did not turn out well. Did get that Satyr Rambler back. There's really no other way to say it. It's not the kind of deck that I like. It doesn't have good enough synergies to be really good. It doesn't have a great curve. It's kind of just like, I'm going to play vanilla 4-3 and another vanilla 4-3 while my opponent is bestowing stuff onto Wingsteed Riders. And I don't even have like good flying defense. I have a Rage of Perforos and a couple of Time to Feeds. It's just not a very good deck. I have Nylea and her bow. And if I can draw both of them with other creatures, then I might stand a chance to win. I don't even have enough ramp. This is just probably one of the worst decks that I've built recently, if not... No, okay, it's not the worst deck I've built in this format. That's pretty sure. I'm not going to play 2 of those for sure. I sincerely doubt I'm going to play all of those, but we'll find out later. Probably not playing that, maybe. Probably not playing that guy, maybe. I know I just said that, but... Alright. Okay, this is 25. And I don't really need to play both of these. They're pretty bad in this deck to begin with. I just don't want to drop below too many creatures. Especially, I don't know why I'm doing that. Especially in the beginning of the game. In fact, this 2-headed Cerberus is looking terrible. I think I'd rather play an Agent of Horizons in this deck. And I'm probably just going to take out one of these guys. Yeah, I mean, it's just a really awkward mana curve. I mean, I guess I'll leave this up here because it's something that I want to be playing on curve. But, I mean, if you take out this thing and this thing, then I really don't have that many. Like, these are the only creatures that can actually attack. Either way, I think this is how the deck should be built. Prowler's Helm is an interesting one. I could main deck it over something like Savage Surge or Portent of Betrayal. I just like those cards a little bit better. I like Savage Surge in this kind of deck. because when I get to like 6 mana and I can still play a 4-drop and have something open, it's kind of like why I like Bow of Nylea. So I don't think I'm going to do anything like that. This is pretty good though. I don't want to cut this Rage of Perforos just because I have 1 Leaf Crown Dryad and 1 Bow, and I guess a couple of time to feeds. I do have some reasonable ways to deal with flyers. I'm definitely not cutting another creature. So, is Titan Strength worth playing in this kind of deck? I think I'd rather have a Prowler's Helm than a Titan Strength, to be honest. I mean, it's a fine card, but without the 2-headed Cerberus, like, it's not nearly as good. So do I still have enough targeting if I take that out 1, 2? Yeah, I have enough targeting, I think. It's not like too much, but it's definitely enough. I don't think I can with well, I guess I don't have that much double red anymore. There's no real reason to go 10-7 though. There is a reason to go 10-7. I think I'm going to go 9-8 anyway. And I'm going to submit, so that is going to be the draft portion, and I shall see you in the gameplay portion, where we win matches and destroy people. So, see you in a second. Bye.